Good morning. Thank you, Bishop and Diocesan family, for having me this morning. As some of you may have read or heard about, our 10th summer camp on the road didn't go quite as planned. I would like to share a bit about the wonderful people that worked at our camp this year, and then, since I was ill during the week and ended up in the hospital, I'm going to turn it over to Jimmy and ask him to share some of his thoughts about camp. We were so thankful to have had Carolyn Asquith, Kendall Litchfield, Katie Franklin, Amanda Franklin, Holly Rampelmeyer, Jarrett Falwell, and Link Andrews serve as our tireless counselors. If you don't know, counselors while get time off each night are on 24/7. All of our counselors this year had attended camp as campers, and many of them have attended since they were in second grade, and they have not missed a year. Thanks also to Josh Falwell and Jimmy Haney, who served as support staff, helping with everything from music and games and whatever was asked. And to Justin Sanders, who was our nurse and has been coming to join us with camp for 6 years. And a special shout out of thanks to Justin for his gentle nudge to Jim to get me back to Lubbock to the hospital the second to the last night of camp. I think of the team as family and the campers as my kiddos, and leaving them in camp, although they were in wonderful and capable hands, was a very hard thing to do, but necessary. And leading this incredible team through all of this was the fearless head counselor, Kenda Falwell. Kenda and the staff made sure the week was a blast and no one missed a beat. When our younger camp had to be canceled due to COVID of several of our counselors, Kenda called every parent to let them know, and then she and Jimmy and the team, along with folks from St. Andrews, helped pack up the camp to leave. Now, a word about our clergy in the diocese who serve at camp. Over the years, when I talk with other camp directors, I realize how grateful I am for the clergy who join us. I have never come up short of clergy who want to be with us. They teach, hang out, share, and give of themselves to our youth. This summer, we had Mother Miriam Scott from St. Andrews, Amarillo, and Father Jim from St. Paul's, Lubbock. This was Mother Miriam's first year, and she jumped in like a pro. Mother Leanne Wigner from Canterbury and Father Brian Callan from St. Stephen's, Sweetwater, and All Saints, Colorado City were set to serve at our younger camp. So thank you for your willingness to serve, and let's try again. Thank you to Bishop Scott, who joins us at camp. Getting to hang out with the Bish, both for the campers and the team, is so important, and we all feel very supported by you. Thank you. Last but not least, Jim Haney. Jim writes the curriculum and has done so for the past 10 years. He connects with the clergy who are serving. He and Jimmy work on the music and is our, oh my goodness, I forgot, whatever, from Walmart shopper. I couldn't ask for a better partner in camp and life. While I may be bossy all the time, this is the only time of the year when I get to be Jim's boss. And I take advantage of it, I promise. Lots of people serve with boots on the ground to make camp happen each summer. There are always so many in the diocese who support our youth ministry with prayers and support and with our scholarships. And it takes us all to serve in this ministry together for and with our youth. Thank you all. Now I'm going to turn this over to Jimmy to share a little bit about his camp experience in this summer.
For those who don't know, I have been a part of the Quarterman Camp community since June of 2008. In fact, I started going to camp in this diocese a couple months before we moved to Lubbock that August. Camp Quarterman has been an integral part of my spiritual life and growth for over half of my life. I have attended and worked at camp in Northwest Texas as a camper, a junior counselor, then a counselor, and then as the big brother for Camp Quarterman. It never ceases to amaze me when I go and visit another church in our diocese that I always know someone there from camp to catch up with. Camp Quarterman is a wonderful, unique place. I know when I was a youth, camp was a rare place to be my authentic self. It was and is a place of fellowship to create friendships rooted in Christ. And I don't think it would be an exaggeration to say that I would not be the person I am now if it wasn't for the friendships that I have created through the years at camp. Now, I do want to give a few specific glimpses of camp from this summer, but before I do that, I want to take a quick detour to EYE. This summer, I was fortunate to serve as an adult sponsor for our diocesan delegation to the Episcopal Youth Event. For those who might not be familiar, EYE is roughly a week when about 1,500 Episcopal youth and adult sponsors get together for worship and fun and networking. It's kind of like a general convention where all the business and legislation is replaced with games and hanging out. This year, we took 4 youth from our diocese to Maryland for EYE. The theme for that week was taken from the biblical story of Queen Esther. It specifically focused on preparing youth to follow God in unexpected ways at unexpected times. I know each of our youth made lots of friendships with Episcopalians from around the country, and they all got to see the real breadth of the Episcopal Church. So back to Camp Quarterman. This year, as usual, we played games like Fun Noodle Hockey and Squirrel Ball. We shared the sacraments of communion and unction, and we prayed Compline before bed. We added Ryan Sanders on drums to our camp music team, which was really fun and awesome. Our game of Human Clue was replete with a chicken wrangler, a golfer, and other interesting characters that all helped our campers figure out the murder mystery of the week. We had an elite task force of mouse catchers and critter wranglers that included Mother Miriam Scott and several of our counselors. And I had the honor to officiate at the burial of Harold the Grasshopper. As we laid Harold to rest, many campers and staff paid their respects on their way to lunch. We witnessed one of the longest single games of capture the flag, at least in my memory, and I believe the bishop was there for that as well. And to be honest, at this moment, I can't recall if one of the teams ended up winning or if the sun going down won. This year, our camp theme was Came Down from Heaven, as we talked about the incarnation of Jesus Christ. We talked about fun incarnational stories like the Annunciation and the Christmas story. But we also talked about how God and Jesus lived the full experience of human life, how Jesus lived through just about every possible experience of life, including grief, sadness, and loss, and how God and Jesus is with us in every moment of our lives, and how that can be used for our youth going forward, and how he's especially there in the difficult times. And on that note, we also witnessed a unique manifestation of love for the camp community this summer. We always say campers' safety is always our number one priority for everyone at camp. And unfortunately, camper safety as our priority meant that this year we did have to cancel the second week of camp. Camp Quarterman Jr. was canceled due to a number of staff catching COVID. But love takes many forms, and in this week, it meant not having the second camp. And even with all of those hiccups, Camp Quarterman this year was great. And to echo what many campers say, I can't wait till I can go back.